Welcome to Aurei Plays Factorio Seablock. This is episode 33. Um, we're scaling up a little bit. We want to make some slag. These electrolyzers, they're really gonna be worth their weight in gold because of the resources that they get us. I want to add another 2. Looks like we have at least the space for 1, so let's put that down first. We also switched to copper piping. We're making some stone to craft machines from later, but for now the stone production is actually at kind of a minimum. We can put an inserter here. I'm gonna copy the configuration, but from here let's offset it here so that it gets dropped on the lower side of the belt. Yep, and we also do need to connect it up here. Yeah. Let's see, can we collect some more landfill? Yeah, I really am happy with the decision to split that a little bit. It's yeah, in the end we do need to divert our attention between like the physical resources and the landfill, but that's just the name of the game. Power wise, we're doing fine. So let's put down another one of these guys. This should be enough room. We do want to craft some copper piping. Yep. Let's cancel this, place the pipe, and then requeue that. And get some here as well. Okay, we'll need another inserter though. And some belts here. Yeah, this one is putting on the lower side of the belt. Yeah, these crafts should be done quite soon, so I'm just gonna let them run. We're not in a rush. We're getting some nice landfill backup. The garden processing is taking quite long, but it's something that I think is quite looks to be quite useful. I hope we can get a loop out of that. Maybe we should be figuring that out before I rush into getting the tag. But it seems a fairly important part of like these upgrades. I mean, in any case, we'll want the tree arboretum too. This is kind of important to get, so we won't be really worried about that. Here we go. Another inserter, ready to roll. We do want this to actually go there and connect this up, and we're off to the races. Let's see, is this piling up in any... It's not, right? I mean, we are using it. Just in a good way. Everything up here seems to be going fine. Yeah, so the research is really bottlenecked by the lab, which is fine. The fact that we're getting a lot of the iron back down here is really helpful. This is limited by the amount of slag we have. Yeah, so the thing is, so basically, yeah, we do want to properly. I guess we can encroach a little bit more, like power production wise. We're hovering a little bit between basically like the yeah, we're fairly stable, right? Around the 5 to I don't we sometimes touch the 7. So if we wanna like go full on and make sure that we get all the production, I'll add one more electrolyzer at this point. And then we really should be going for the I guess the lead and tin stuff, so that I can craft some more electronic circuits easily. The amount of landfill we're getting, I'm quite happy with that. I'm gonna. Oh, this chest is actually limited, so. Yeah, we'll just use that and be on our way. Crafting wise, let's craft a couple inserters, couple of belts. We are running low a little bit on resources, and landfill looks to be okay, so it might be that I put this priority back on, but for now, yeah, space is still at a premium, but we really, the fact that we can really start scaling up a bit is helping a lot. Yeah, we've almost finished crafting it, I guess. No, we have finished crafting. There we go. Okay, so first things first, let's connect the water up and put down a power pole like here, and I guess it should be next to this one, right? So here, you can copy the recipe and it can get started until it's full up. Then we have these guys, this pipe, and connect it up. Okay, there we go. Some slag. Let's check up on the power. Yeah, so now we're really. I don't want to push this any further. This is how far I'm willing to go. I hope I won't, like, the stuff will add up here also draws some electricity, so I might actually have shot myself in the foot a little bit. Maybe it makes sense to go for some more windmills at this point, just to make sure that when I add in the extra machinery here, we don't blow up the base. Okay, we could get a massive 2 windmills. I guess I did really spend a decent amount of resources on that. But it's yeah, it's something that makes yeah, it helps us scale up quite quickly, um, and it allows us to get to a point where we don't need to be waiting for the resources um, to continue. Basically, we are still a lot of the time bottlenecked on resources that we we've been making for a while, which means that we probably should be scaling it up. The problem is, like, if we get more efficient ways of doing it, we'll need to refactor it, but that's okay, and we'll just deal with it when it comes. And let's craft 4 of those. So yeah, 2 steps above this. Maybe this is a little bit wide. Yeah, so okay, so I may have overstepped my boundary here with this last electrolyzer, but we have it now, so we're not gonna complain. Um, this guy could use another inserter, but since we're having power trouble, I'll just tread carefully. Um, I do think it makes sense to just grab another couple of windmills. It basically allows me to get to building out without being worried about basically how we work. The fact that we're just lacking a little bit of power does slow down this entire loop, right? So that is really tricky. Once garden processing is done, I'll let it the research sit still for a while, which means we'll get some more resources. Uh, these guys are still doing all the processing. Um, so this is limited by the input, I guess, right? Yeah, so they're flickering a bit back and forth because of the power issues. We're almost done with garden processing, which means that we'll get some good loads of iron. I can plop down some more windmills. Um, it's I also, what I forgot and what is kind of key is that the windmill power really fluctuates, right? So the level of power you get from it like changes a little bit according to the wind, and this is something that's likely causing us issues right now. Yeah, you see when the wind turbines drop a little bit because of the wind slowing down, then we get into the power issues. So we do want a couple more, but yeah, after that I'm really going to start setting up that, making sure we can scale this up, because we do have the resources, or at least the trees, to build 2 more desert tree generators, which means that this whole setup could be tripled still, and that will give us a lot of breathing room. Yeah, I'm not gonna research anything at this moment. I'll just let it be for a bit and gather up some iron that's coming down from here. Yeah, that gives us another couple windmills. Some landfill to be able to place them. And it looks like we can actually. I do want to wait to get the other four, or at least one more to make sure I'm not placing a power pole, and we might actually. Let's see, so between here and here, yeah, there is a spot, so we can do it like this. And we'll place these turbines. Yeah, these are just small improvements. I think I'll finish another my current steel plate backup in order to do this. It will bring our power back to a level where we can be like comfortable with it. Output wise this is fine, but the real issue is that if I start building more production with our power fluctuating like this, then it's really easy to knock out your power system while you're building this new setup. It's not gonna draw that much power, but I am gonna introduce some ore crushers and some ore sorting, which can actually, like when they're running, they draw a fairly large amount of power. We're getting nice batches of, should be like 24 iron plates that we're getting here. Yeah, this is, it's starting to, I'm not sure it's really backing up, but at least there's a stack of sulfur in this machine. And we're running through this sulfur backlog. It's, yeah, I guess that's what's going on, right? The sulfur is not that needed, but when it's like the hydrogen sulfide gas is just piling up way slower still. Let's see how we're doing power wise. It looks like we're still like dipping into territory. Like it says we have 8 megawatts, but in practice when we pop over like 6.2, 6.3, we're at our cap. So that's good to keep in mind, because that's sort of the trap that I fell into. I thought, hey, we have plenty of power, let's go for this. But then it turns out that you really don't. That's how we're doing here. Yeah, we're building up a nice amount of landfill in order to be able to fund the expansion up top. Let's see, we're not like we might be running into issues there soon, so I'll put down another wooden chest here with some algae. The other boxes that could backlog our system are not this one, I guess, because that it has output priority to this side. Well, it's good. So it could be problematic if we run out of hydrogen sulfide again, but for now that seems to be fine. Yeah, so now we're really starting this gas to pile up and this backlog will slowly consume. Yeah. Okay, so it's a little bit of a slow time because I need to build these windmills to make sure that we're not gonna destroy the factory when we get the opportunity to expand a little bit in the smelting area. But when we do, we'll be very happy with it. Yeah, so we're still having fluctuations every now and then, but yeah. So adding some power. How are we doing with the materials up here? I guess we could add another one of these. It probably burns through this backlog quite quickly, and actually when we're like, these are all running at full speed, so we might also just want to add another set. I'm a little bit on the fence about this. Yeah, so yeah, I guess why not? Let's see how it turns out. It might be problematic if it consumes all the fuel. So for that we need a boiler. Yeah, we could have upgraded, but I guess once I put down the landfill, there's no real reason to do that. I do need to pick up some iron plates for this. Let's put down these wind turbines. Yeah, so that is kind of an issue, like the fact that these wind turbines were actually. We can put a lot more here as well. That this power pole is off by 1, I guess. So let's put that down here. Yeah. So the fact was that the fluctuations. I guess the steam looks to be fluctuating a lot, but I'm not sure that's because they're either at the cap or they're not, right? So it's whatever is consumed and not the electrolyzers are. I guess I'm not sure why these are fluctuating in their power usage. Maybe because we're using too much and they just can't get any more. Yeah, I guess that's it. The electrolyzers are by far our largest power draw. So basically, if the assembly machines are running a little bit more than is that the cause? It looks a little bit weird. Yeah, okay, so yeah, when we have enough, we're like in this phase, right? And if we're tight, then we're up here, and we can't get any more. So let's see. Let's make another boiler, and we'll need to gather some iron for. Preferably 2 steam engines, but we can start with 1. Because right, yeah. I think the boiler will consume the fuel, but it will also last twice as long. Guess we'll add 1 gap for an electric pole and put it up here. Run this down and add an insert. My guess is that in order to make this work, we at the very least need to have another furnace here. So I am gonna preemptively expand this. Yeah, our power issues are we're quite okay now. Looks like it. It's still like a little bit fluctuating, but adding another steam engine will make sure that we have some buffer to work through. Yeah, these guys are working full steam. Yeah, if we could get fast inserters, that might be needed for some of this. But for now, this works. Yeah, so this it actually looks to be sort of limited by this arm. That's actually the biggest problem. But I mean, we could add another one, right? We could just put it so ugly, but it will work. Guess if I can power it. Right, so this will pick up here and drop here. Okay, I guess it doesn't actually do anything at this point. Yeah. So these guys are running full steam, pun intended. We're gonna fix up some more, get another steam engine up. And there we go. Grab some landfill. That's a nice amount. And get that up here. Yeah, so I overplayed my hand a little bit adding the last electrolyzers, but at this point it looks like we're good on power. Like the spikiness that we have here, like the electrolyzers can run full time now without interruptions. So that does mean I need to be careful, like, right? The fact that we just overstepped it means that we don't really have the resources to expand a lot until we get these guys. So yeah, it's time to set up tin and lead. So let's pick that up next episode. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.